Hi guys, my name is Laura and today I want to tell you about the animals' rights. So guys, how many of you today used deodorant and soap this morning? Or how many of you today are presently wearing makeup or perfume? I'm pretty much sure that most of you will raise their hands, however there are some of you who thought about whether or not these products were tasted on the animals. The cruel attitude of humans toward the animals raises more challenging issues than it was ever before. I can even tell you about my own example that happened to me several years ago. 2 years ago, my two best friends, my two dogs, were killed by a special organization, an organization that exterminates the stray dogs. But the problem is that my dogs went stray. They were walking around not far from our house by wearing the collar. When it happened, first I cried. Secondly, I understood how it's important to protect the rights of those who cannot do it themselves. So today, I want to inform my audience about the important concern of animal rights. To get into more details, we are going to talk about the effects of products testing on the animals. Following these, I'm going to focus upon the killing animals for human purposes. And finally, I'm going to cover the utilization of animals for entertainment values in zoos and circuses. So let's start from our first main point, is the main consequences of products testing on the animals. So as you know guys, every year millions of animals are poisoned and killed in barbaric and outdated tests in order to alleviate the hazard of consumer products. In an effort to measure the toxic waste, rabbits, rats, mice, and other animals are forced to swallow and inhale massive quantities of test substance. According to the survey that was provided by the Cruelty-Free International Company, in 2019, 150 million of animals are used in order to taste the products in all around the world on an annual basis. As a result, animals experience and suffer from the pain, from convulsion, paralysis, mouth and nose bleeding before they ultimately die or before they are killed. Last year, I found out that one of my favorite American cosmetic brand, Max Factor, uses animals in order to test their products. So I completely avoided myself from this because I believe that there are plenty of the methods that can be used in order to test the products, especially in a highly developed and technologically advanced world. Moving on to my next point, I'm going to tell you about the killing of animals for human benefit. So first of all, it's important to understand that the majority of you probably buy the items of clothing that are made of the leather, without even thinking how the animals were treated or killed before that. According to an investigation that was made by the PETA is an American organization for animal rights that took place in 2014 in India. Old cows are sold out at auction, then they are hiked and sent long distance to illegal slaughterhouses. After that, up to 50 heads of the cattle stuffed into the trucks that are actually designed to no more than a dozen animals, and then they are chased through the rugged roads by accidentally trampling or hammering each other to feed the slaughterhouse, where all of their forelegs are tied and their throats are cut. This is a great example of harsh and inhuman behavior. By informing my parents about this ridiculous behavior, I was able to motivate them to lessen the amount of meat that we used to eat. This year, I even gave up eating the meat and I replaced it by the fish and some extra additional vitamins. And I can earnestly tell you that I feel as much happier as I used to be when I ate the meat. Okay. So let's move to my final point, which is actually about the utilization of animals as entertainment tools in circuses and zoos. So as you know, in circuses, animals live a dismal life of confinement and violent training. It is standard practice to shout, to whip, to beat in order to make them perform ridiculous tricks that they cannot even comprehend. In zoos, it's not so much different. There, they have to sit in small area, they are denied the habitat and the climate which is so much natural to them. So, for instance, 3 of the Mula Shrine circuses show elephants escape from their handmasters on a child ride. As a result, they destroy the cars, they destroy the buildings, and they even hurt pedestrians. I really believe that animals shouldn't be put in zoos and circuses because it's not treating them with the same respect that they deserve. Last year, a very famous circus show, Chapiteau, was supposed to come to my city. However, due to the fact of some of the videos with violent behavior over the animals that were leaked on the internet, a huge campaign of agitated people gathered. As a result, this show was cancelled. I was also the part of that campaign because I believe that the animals should be allowed to wander whenever they want. They should wander freely and live their life without any constraints. Finally, let's summarize briefly what we've covered today. So today we talk about the important concern of animal rights in a modern society. To get deeply, we talk about the main effects or consequences of products tasted on the animals. Then we talk about the killing the animals for human benefit. And lastly, we talk about the utilization of animals for amusement goals. If there is something that I really would like you to take from my speech, it's to be mindful about the animals and try to put yourself in their position. So if you wouldn't be happy to treat the animals this way, then you can take that the animals wouldn't be either. Thank you so much for listening to me, for taking time. If you have any questions, you are free to ask and I'm welcome to answer. Thank you so much. Bye.